3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Pacific Calls. I am Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver. How are you doing today, Andy?
I'm doing excellent. Are you not talking into your microphone?
Yes, I am.
It sounds a little weird.
Well, you got me you screwed up something again, so I didn't this time.
I probably did.
All right. Online with us today and on YouTube with us today is the owner of Chêne Gear from Memphis, Tennessee, Mr. Jeff Jones. Jeff, how are you doing, sir?
Doing really good.
Awesome. So you guys have got this brand new wader out there, and it is taking the social media game by storm. I have seen more about your waders on people's stories than I think I have any other product that's coming out for 2021.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's good. For some of us, for me, I'm a little bit older guy, it's different. Getting the message out there and having it everywhere, but it's kind of just how the world works today. Having that connection with the customer, we want everybody to see it, and, eventually feel them and wear them, and know about it.
What led you to revamp waders? Have you spent your fair share of time in leaky waders, or what brought this on?
I've spent my fair share of time in waders. Lifelong duck hunter, lifelong public land, flooded timber duck hunter. So if the woods don't flood, I generally don't hunt a whole lot. And when I do hunt, I am in waders. I'm in as long as I can be in today. I have kind of always been, for whatever reason, infatuated with waders. It's it's kind of a novel product. It's concept of taking something, wearing it in the water and staying dry is something every duck hunter needs. There's thousands of coats out there, there's thousands of shirts, bibs, there's everything in the world out there. The thought was, how can we focus on one item? What is one item that we can focus on that duck hunters need? I'm not going to build a shotgun. I don't know how to do that, but I can build what I feel like and what other people feel like is a better way. So let's concentrate on building. That was the idea behind the brand, behind the products that we're doing.
What was the time frame that it took you guys to build these waders and get them ready for launch here in just a couple weeks?
It's an ongoing process. I mean, it's still going on. So we've been working on them a little over a year. Every day, steady working on building a prototype, building another prototype, building another prototype, kind of as it goes on down the line with anything.
A year. That's actually quite a bit quicker than what I thought. I figured this would be 2 or 3 years in the making. So for it to only take you a year, that's impressive on your part.
Right. Well, I mean, I've been in the industry for a long time, so I've had some experience with waders and the knowledge of how to do it, and then getting out and getting on my own, getting started. So I kind of had an educational leap forward. So I had probably a lot better starting point.
So what is it about these waders? So you guys are saying that, this very well could be the last pair of waders you have to purchase. What is it that makes them so tough and durable for the guys that are going to be hitting the marshes this winter?
Well, there's a lot of different things to it. So when you look at the wader, and I kind of have to play with things with my hands to look at them. So barely want to do that. I've got some fabric in front of me, and a lot of different things. So the fabric that you see, that most consumers see when they look at a wader, they'll say, "Oh, well, it's a breathable fabric," and they'll feel it, or it's a neoprene fabric. If somebody knows from back in the day, it's a rubber fabric. Well, to me, a product person and a fabric person, it's not just one fabric that I'm dealing with. There's multiple layers that go in and make up the final fabric that a wader is made. So average consumer would walk up to it and go, I see one fabric, but me, I see 5 layers of fabrics, 5 layers of fabrics and membranes that make it up. No, I keep saying fabric layer a lot. It's kind of a hard thing to explain, but to answer the question of what makes them tougher and what makes them more durable is the base fabric, which is the camo fabric to everybody. The outer fabric is a nylon. So traditionally, since the evolution of breathable waders, since they came along, they've kind of been made out of a polyester material. Polyester material is good. It just doesn't have the strength and durability of nylon. And it was easier for manufacturers to work with. It was easier for brands to work with. It's easier for print converters, which putting camouflage print on it to work with. So it kind of became a staple of what breathable waders were made. What we did was say, well, why do you have to make them out of polyester? Why can't you go to tougher fabric like nylon? And in doing that, it pointed to some problems with the print, it pointed to some problems on time and all that. And we just say, you know what? Why don't we change the way we print them? Or why don't we change the way we expect to get them? And kind of solve each one of those problems that go into a better fabric. So that's the biggest thing. One of the biggest things, one of the biggest differences between these waders and anybody else is that base fabric, which doesn't really help you for a podcast where I'm in Memphis here in West Texas, but you can feel it. When you put your hands on this fabric, you can instantly feel the strength of the fibers, the strength of the fabric. It has a different hand feel than like a polyester.
Right. And so why were more people not doing this 10 years ago? Is it cost or what? Like,
well, yeah, all right. So yeah, all right, we'll just go into it. We'll go through all of it. So nylon base fabric is not anything. It was around forever ago. So I've told people before, there's been waders since the basically since 1838 is when modern fishing, hunting type waders were made out of rubber, and then as processes and technology grows, things change. But the rubber backer was really where waders kind of started. You can kind of fast forward that timeline a little bit. With a rubber wader, you got it either black or dark green, looked like rubber. And it needed to be tougher, it needed to be protected. So different companies started putting things like canvas on the face of them, or they put nylon on the face of them, different things like that they could get in a more earth tone color that would match. And then when camouflage was developed, they started using camouflage print on it. So a lot of things go forward, and I always hate to say this, but it's part of it. Also, as waders were developed and the market grew, you're selling from things, you also look for ways to make something that were less cost prohibitive. And a polyester fabric is a lot cheaper than nylon. So when you start going through and you have to start evaluating margins, everybody has to start dipping into making some of that profit. Then you kind of start saying, all right, I need to make this price or this price. X competition sells theirs at this price. So that a lot of those factors weigh into why stuff is made out of it. We came into it saying, all right, I mean, we weren't trying to be arrogant jerks and say, let's not worry about what the price is, let's just deal with everything. It was more of an idea of what could you do if you weren't worried about trying to hit margin requirements, trying to get it into a certain price point. We wanted to concentrate on building the best product you think of. What would you do? Well, I would want a tougher fabric base environment. You want a tougher base fabric. To do that, you go something like more durable product. It's not going to stand up to barbed wire fences. It's not going to stand up to, a fuse tearing it up. But in a day-to-day hunting environment, nylon is superior.
Okay, I got a question for you.
All right.
Because this is what everybody's going to say. We're paying over $1,000 for a pair of waders. What is if every wader I've ever owned in my life, and you up until this point, eventually is going to leak. It's just part of it. You're in the water. What's y'all's warranty like, and what's your call on what happens if it gets a leak? Can you repair them?
Yeah. Okay. So our warranty, it's pretty simple. We've publicly put out there that we'll stand behind them as long as you'll stand in them.
Right.
And we mean that. We have here in Memphis at our place, I've got the ability to repair them. So if you go out and you catch it on a nail getting in a blind, or you cut it, or you tear it, or anything, as long as it's not, like if you rip the whole leg out, if you rip the leg from the thigh down to the knee, let's be honest, I'm probably not going to be able to repair that.
Right.
No, common sense.
If you go in and you catch it on something and you have a pinhole or you have a small tear, and it's hard to define what a small tear is, but I mean, everybody can picture a small tear. If it's something like that, they can come back to me and we can repair them and we can get them back to you. If it's a manufacturing issue, I like to look at it, I try to keep things as simple as possible. If it's our fault, meaning the waiter, any kind of manufacturing, anything like that goes wrong with it, we'll fix it, replace them, get them right back to you. If it's your fault, I'll still do the same. I'll fix it. If it's minuscule and there's not much to it, probably not even going to charge you. If it takes a little bit of time and it's going to take some materials to do it, it'll be a minimal fee to do it. But, you kind of come into this thing eyes wide open saying, all right, we're going to put this warranty out there. We're going to stand behind them. We're going to take care of every customer that buys a pair. And you know that there's going to be some abuse of that. Some people are going to do what some people are going to do, and that's just part of it. We're going to try to avoid that the best we can. And what we want to do is make a good product and stand behind the customer. Yeah, it's expensive, man. It's $1,000. It is. I'm not shying away from that. But to do that, it's a really good product, and there is a warranty behind it. We'll stand behind it.
You get what you pay for in the world,
right? And
$1,000 pair of waders that'll last you for, I'm going to say right now, 10 years. If you wear a pair of waders for 10 years and it costs you $100 a year, and you're in the water much, that's a damn good deal. Now, if you buy a pair of waders, I'm 53 years old. If I bought $1,000 pair of waders and they last me till I'm 60, I'd be happy as hell. Anybody that thinks they're 20 years old and they're going to buy $1,000 a wader, they're going to last until they're 60 years old. They've lost their damn mind. Now, do you are these American made? Everything made in America?
No, it's not. They're sourced all over. So I'm bringing fabrics out of Japan. I'm bringing different laminates and treatments out of Taiwan. We are assembling, and they are made in China. Our factory that is cutting, seam sealing, attaching boots, they're in China. That's where the technology is. That's where the manufacturing is for them right now. We have a goal. We have a goal and a plan to, as we grow the brand and as it builds up, to bring that home. We want to build them here. But we got to baby step it. Right now, we're set up in a way that if you have an issue with the wader, we can repair it and get it back to you. As that goes forward, there's other things that we can do in that manufacturing process to grow year by year until we get to the point that we're 100% doing it here. But we'll still be bringing in different components from all over the world.
Are there any shipping issues right now? So if someone listens to this and says, I'm going to buy some of them waders, do y'all have everything in stock right now?
Well, we're getting waders in. They're coming in multiple shipments. We're not. There's all kinds of shipping stuff going on all over the world. I mean,
sure.
Imagine anybody. I'm trying to get some little bitty rubber washers to go on a steel tank, and it makes no sense at all. It's taking forever to get. But we don't have anything backed up at any of the ports anywhere now. We brought them in a little bit different than how other people bring their product in. So, we're launching on the 14th, and we're expecting to be able to start shipping in early August. So.
That's good. So you said the first pair of waders was 1838. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, so I have a book.
I have a book on waders, and it says in there the first pair of waders that came fishing. They were fishing waders, of course. Was like 1838.
Jeez.
And what's really cool, I mean, as you learn the history of this stuff and spend a lot of time with it, there's just been some great inventions along the way in waders. Some stuff was so far ahead of its time. People are like, nah, I'm not worried. I'm not getting involved with this black magic. And now it's like, that would be really cool. But yeah, at one point in time, Converse, like the Converse shoe company, it was Converse Rubber Company, and they made waders.
Boy, don't you know those things were hot?
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? But, you know, at the time you didn't know any, you know, nobody knew any different or any better. It was like, I want to stay dry.
Right. Yeah.
So
what's the hardest part on the wader? Is it getting the inseams or is it getting the knees to not leak?
What gives out first?
That's a good question. It's usually in the seams. If you have a leak, it's usually in the seams, and a lot of the time, the reason why a wader would leak is because of the manufacturing process itself. So if you think about it, and I have in front of me a bunch of fabric. It's completely waterproof fabric. It's got, you know, it's breathable. It's submersible. It's resistant to pressure. But to sew it, to make it into a wader, you got to cut it, and then you have to stitch it. You put 11 needle holes every inch as you sew a leg, or as you sew a inseam, or sew a crotch. So the process of doing that, you're destroying the product to turn it into a product. If that makes sense.
Yes.
And then you would come on the backside and you'd put some seam seal tape on there, and that seam seal tape would protect the seam, and it would cover the holes that you had sewn into it. So that's a traditional way of making a wader, and that inherently is where a lot of waders leak. You get some popping of those, or some stretching of those seams. Those stitches will break, and you do it like that. So that's another part where we look at it and said, all right, how can we do it differently? Is there a different way, instead of sewing them with a traditional sewing machine, that allows you to still make the seams to make a leg? I mean, there's no way to turn a flat thing into a leg without, without sewing it or seaming it some way. So what we found, by using nylon fabric, staying away from polyester and using a nylon, we could go in and we could do something called mechanically bonding. And mechanically bonding, for layman's terms, or anybody who wants to say, it's really just the welding of seams.
Right.
So we were able to go in and take two seams, kind of invert them and roll them inside of each other, and go through a machine that welded that fabric together. And that created a waterproof bond without destroying the fabric.
Same technology they do when they started making canned goods.
Yeah. It honestly really is.
Yeah,
so it's the same. It's kind of the same idea in a similar way of doing it. That's right.
Yeah, they rolled the top of it instead of welding them, so there was no corrosiveness from the weld. They found a way to roll them up, and that's the way they do the cans. And that's basically what you're doing with the rubber on that deal.
Now,
That's
how
pretty
the hell
interesting.
do you know that, Jeff?
I'm a lot smarter than you think I am. I know a lot of things.
Did you watch that show on the History
Yes,
Channel?
I did.
That's how he
The
knows.
History of Food?
Yep, that's how I know.
That's how he knows.
Yes,
That's
I do.
right. I watched that too. My 10-year-old daughter was in. We watched every single one of them. Man, you talk about some great inventions along.
Oh, I love history anyways. Anything history related I watch. And I watched that and I thought, that made a lot of sense. And so when you were telling me about that, I thought, well, that's the same technology they used on the canned goods.
Mm-hmm. And we're not the first ones to do this. I mean, there's some other companies out there that have made welded seams before. And I've seen them, and I always do it with my fingers. It's like you take one piece of fabric and you overlap the other fabric and you weld it. And the issue with that is you still have this rough edge that'll kind of unravel and can catch on things. What's really cool, the way we're doing it, indifferent, is that how you invert them. And when you feel this seam on the outside, it is just as flat, like you can hardly notice it. It's just as flat as can be. And then to reinforce and back all that up, we do come back on top of it with a seam tape also on the inside, just to give it a little bit extra bond and hold.
Okay, I've got a question from the 3 sandwich eating guys.
I love it. I love sandwiches, and I love questions.
The fat guy hates waders. I'm going to tell you right now, there ain't a fat guy in America that likes to put on a pair of waders because it's like it's just not comfortable. Skinny guys like you and Andy, it probably is not a problem. Fat people don't like it. So, are your waders going to be more like the plus-size waders that you can get in and out, but then you feel like you're carrying a tin around with you? Or are they going to be like the neoprene ones where you feel like you're in a yoga pants, a fat lady in a pair of yoga pants?
How about we go in between the two?
Okay.
All right. So they're not skin tight. It's not leotard tight. It's not stuck to you. But it's also not a oversized wader that's real loose on your body, because I can tell you from experience, one of the worst things you can do for a wader is wear a wader that's too big, because now you've got material rubbing together, you've got material that's kind of off of your body a little bit that catches on stuff. So a too big wader, a too baggy, too bulky wader is just it's probably one of the worst things you can do. You're wearing something that's too big like that, you're damaging it more than you think. I mean, you're destroying that wader. So this wader, it's more of an athletic fit, but it's not a leotard. If that makes
but you're putting an athletic fit on a non-athletic man. That's why I'm asking. But I get where you're coming from.
But also, we're building sizes up through 3X. You know, we'll have a 3X inventory size, and if that doesn't fit you, I'll build you one. I mean, honestly, it's just math. If you need 2 more inches of chest or 2 more inches of inseam or 2 more inches of hip, we just math it out and scale it. So we have the capabilities of doing some custom work. Of course, it takes a little bit longer, but we can do it, and we are willing to do it also.
There is a market for that, because
shit.
the guy that needs the 10 inch is extra around the belly button, not the crotch area, the 10 inches, but damn sure around the gut area. That guy right there is going to be your customer. He's not going to mind paying extra, but he wants the big plus size wader, because when you go and you buy a 3X thing and it's made in China, them fuckers only grow to about extra large, and they're biggest boys. So a 3X American is not a 3X Chinese guy.
Yeah, well, we 3X American size. We know how to build some sizes. So,
well, you custom making them though. You will get a lot of customers. There's a lot of fat guys that listen to our podcast. They're like, that's what I'm gonna call that guy about getting some waders now, because they want a wader that'll fit them.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. Look, man, everybody ought to have the opportunity to wear something, to have a good product. So just because you're out of the retail spectrum of size 9 through size 12 or medium through XL, you still deserve to have a product. I mean, we've got some extra sizes, and we have the capability to make a custom pair. So let's try it. You know, give us a little time, and we'll build it for you.
Are these going to be durable enough that well, I'm sure they are. You're going to put a lifetime warranty, or what is your warranty? I'm sorry, is it a lifetime warranty or as long as you stand in it?
It's a limited lifetime warranty on the product. You know, like I said, if it fails from any kind of issue with the seam or delamination or any kind of manufacturing issue, we'll stand behind it, get you fixed, get you replaced, get you back in working order. If it's something you do, the wearer does, we'll absolutely do our best to fix it. I mean, you could spend eternity talking about what ifs.
Right,
what
right.
if I job a log through the right leg that comes out the left? You know, man,
right.
I tell you what, you buy a pair of these waders, and I'll do everything in the world I can to fix them if you tear them up.
This is the old Cabela's warranty then, because Cabela's in the 70s and the 80s were famous for that. If you bought it from them and it was their fault, they took care of it. And that was the greatest thing ever. They had the greatest warranties in the world back in the day. What camouflage are they coming in right off the bat?
Mossy Oak Bottomland.
Mossy Oak Bottomland is what you're going to get.
Yep. We're building them in Mossy Oak Bottomland, and we have a very, very, very limited quantity in a olive drab color.
Now that's popular. Solid colors are the way. That's what everybody's buying right now, and I don't know what created that craze.
I don't either, but I can tell you, in 100% honesty, I missed the mark on solid waders.
You did? Why?
I did not anticipate, or none of us really did, but it'd be my fault fully. I did not anticipate how popular solid color waders were. So I thought, yeah, we'll make a limited quantity of them. We'll have a few of them that we'll sell them. No, that is the one thing everybody
wants it.
One thing about a $1,000 pair of waders, though, eventually you can have 3 or 4 different colors of it, and you got that guy that's going to buy one in every color because he wants to be in style every year.
Well, yeah. We'll see. I hope so.
Waterfowl hunters are the worst about buying everything new that comes out in every color they have, or changing to a different color just because it's the new craze.
Just because it's a new color.
So they'll be all about that. So field hunting, a lot of guys wear waders in field hunting. Pretty easy to get around in these?
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, it's every field hunter, every goose hunter out there, everybody's worn bibs. I mean, basically, this product is a bib with a boot glued to it.
And that's what they want.
Yeah. I mean, it's exactly what you want.
And then, so what about what about warmth? What all do we have inside of them for those cold days, either in the timber or, like Jeff said, if you're wearing them out in the field to keep warm?
All right, so that's what we did. So we looked at it a different way. We said, all right, everybody, warmth and cold or hot, all of that is so subjective to the wearer. All right. You know as well as I do. You've been out there, you've been warm, guy next to you's been cold, somebody down the hill's been freezing. It's just crazy. So we said, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to build a wader that'll keep you dry. Mm-hmm. You know how to dress to keep warm, or you know how to dress to keep cool when you're outside in the elements. Let our wader do the job of keeping you dry. You dress to keep warm.
That makes sense.
So we insulate. The boot has a 5mm neoprene boot with the rubber coating, and we added some insulation inside the boot because, nobody's ever said, man, my feet got so hot I couldn't stand it. But everybody will say my feet got cold. So let's easily keep people's feet warm, but then let you wear what you need to wear to keep warm or to keep cool or however it is. You regulate your temperature, we'll just keep you dry.
That makes sense. And if I were making a wader, that'd probably be the approach that I would take, because nothing sucks worse than having to have 2 pair of waders. So you'd have to have a wader during teal season, and then you got to have a wader to wear, in January or December. So with this, like, you can wear it early teal hunting, and you can also layer up and wear it whenever it gets cold and the temperature drops.
That's right. And, the couple other things it does for us, it allows us to easily be able to repair them. Right. So it speeds, if something does happen, it speeds up the repair time that we can get them back to you. And it makes it's a lot more comfortable. I mean, when you figure out what you need to wear to keep warm, all you're doing is putting on a product to keep you dry. It's a lot more comfortable to wear. Some of that big bulky insulation, and it's just not comfortable.
Right. No, that's exactly right. So what about the product testing? So you said it took about a year for conception of this idea to where we are today. Did you just have a bunch of waders out on the market last year for people to torture test?
That's exactly what we did. So we torture tested waders for all season, a little bit leading up to the season through, just doing structure work where everybody's putting in either water projects or kind of getting ready for hunting season, all the way through hunting season, and then after hunting season, kind of still working and doing things in them. So it kind of gave it a true test of what if a person has land that they've got to get ready for the season, hunt all season long, and then get the water and stuff off of it, anything that they would be doing in waders, we tested the wader in those processes.
Are we selling direct marketing, or are we going through, how are we going to sell it?
Direct to consumer.
The new thing.
Well, yeah, it's a new thing, and you want to have that connection. Like we want to have a connection with the customer. We want them to know me and everybody that works here. And if they have a problem, they can call me up and know who the person is that's going to fix their waiter and going to take care of them. I told a guy the other day, he was asking me about the price and the waiter, and I told him, I said, I know it's expensive. It's $1,000. It's an investment. You're going to get a product for your money, but you're also getting an investment with a brand that's going to stand behind it and stand with you to take care of them. So being able to go direct to consumer enables us to do that.
I don't think the $1,000, if you look at it from a practical point, it's a lot of money up front, but in the long run, if you're going through a pair of waders every year, what's a pair of waders cost? $200?
Maybe.
No, they're all over the $200, $500, $800. Waders are kind of all across the board.
But the average cost, if you opened up a Bass Pro or a Cabela's, is probably $200 for a pair of waders, right?
$300.
$300.
Yeah, I'd say $300 or $400.
Okay, $300. So if you're buying a set and it lasts you 4 years, you're ahead of the curve already. Because the $200, $300 wader they're buying every year. Trust me, I've got 8 guides that work for me, and I see 8 new set of waders every year. And then by Christmas time, I have 8 guys bitching about having to either borrow somebody else's waders because theirs have a leak in it, or they're ordering another pair. And so if you can get $1,000 wader that works, then by God, you're ahead of the game. So I don't think the price point is the deal. It's just got to get people to use the thing. And I think the direct marketing is the way to go, because two of our sponsors are very successful, and there's more than that do it, but Dive Bomb and Boss Shot Shells are both direct marketing, and they are the best at what they do.
Yeah,
and it all stems from they've created that, like you said, they've created that connection with the consumer. The consumer knows, like, hey, if they call this number, they're going to talk to somebody that knows what they're doing, and they're also going to talk to somebody that can fix their problem in a hurry.
That's right.
Yeah, Johnny Morris ain't picking up the phone if you call Bass Pro Shops.
I'd be surprised to find that out, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah, so, I want to talk to someone that, and I don't always want to have to talk to the owner, but if I've got a problem with a product, I want to call up and say, hey, and someone actually gives a shit,
Yeah. You're exactly right. You want to know that no matter what it is, your fault, their fault, whoever's fault it is, or if you just want to have questions, you want to talk to somebody that cares about taking care of the customer and the product that we're putting out there. And that's what you get in this direct-to-consumer model.
So I know that this is kind of the big launching off point, but do you have any idea, like, say I do snag a piece of barbed wire or something like that, do you have any idea, like, what the turnaround would be on, okay, I need to send my waders back to you guys and then you send them back to me? You have any clue about how long?
So when first talking about the company and talking about the product and thinking about it, my focus was entirely on that weekend duck hunter.
Mm-hmm.
In the fact that you've got a guy that has all these other time crunches, all these other pressures on him, and what he wants to do is on Friday go to his camp, or Saturday morning drive out and hunt Sunday morning, and escape all that, and then be able to hunt, and then be able to come back to work. What I mean. So the idea behind the repairs is, if, say, you go out on Saturday morning and you have some kind of issue, something happens, if you can get that waiter back to us Monday, Tuesday, if you live in the area, I'll meet you on Sunday, I'll meet you any day you want to, or if you've got to ship it to me, send it to me. We'll get it, repair it, and get it back to you. The idea is for that guy not to have to miss a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So if he has a problem on Saturday or Sunday with the waiter, if he can get it to us, we're going to repair it, get it back to him, so he's got his opportunity to go back that next weekend. Now, if it's a guy that hunts every single day of the season, there's a lot of people that do that. There's a lot of people that are lucky enough to do that. If you have an issue, I will do my absolute best to get it back to you, so you only miss a couple days.
Right.
But if you're hunting every single day and you have an issue, you probably, and that's the only pair of waders you have, you're probably gonna miss a day. It's gonna take a minute to fix them.
Right. But I mean,
But
it's not going to be like a month or a 2-month
no,
process.
sir. I'm telling you, we're trying to hit it in that 7-day to 10-day time frame. I honestly do not want anybody that's limited to hunting on the weekends to have to miss a weekend because we're fixing this wader.
Right.
So if we can get it back in that week time frame, we'll fix it, send it right back to them.
Well, that's going to buy you a bunch of customers right there, because customers are that word of mouth when you take care of people goes a long, long way in this industry.
Yeah.
Because I've heard some horror stories. You know, guys would have a pair of waders and they'd send them off, and it's 2 months to get them back. And it's just like, what you now all of a sudden you have to buy 2 pair of these waders just to basically have one because one's in the shop getting fixed or whatever. But I think, you know, the customer service end of what you guys are doing is what's going to ultimately set you guys apart. And I mean, even if the waders are half as good as advertised, you're gonna do big things just because of the customer service aspect of it all.
Well, I mean, honestly, there's no reason not to have good customer service. If a person trusted you enough to give you their money for your product,
right,
stand behind it and take care of them. You know, I mean, it doesn't take transit time. There's nothing you can really do about that, but it doesn't take that long to fix a small issue. Mm-hmm. So we're going to do our absolute best. I promise you that.
And you build lifetime customers. There's a company that makes bibs and stuff, and they're a big company in this country. And all my guides used to wear their gear, but the zippers went to shit on them. And I don't have one guy that works for me that wears their stuff anymore because of that. They didn't take care of it. You'd send it to them, and it'd take 2 months to get your shit back. Well, if a guide tears a zipper in his bibs in November and he don't get them back till February, it didn't do him any good.
That's right.
And nobody wears their shit no more. And you know who I'm talking about, Andy.
Yeah.
But that happens. And the old companies like Filson and, you know, they've been around a long time because their stuff's good and they take care of it. And I think you're on to a hell of a deal. Is there going to be anything besides waders? Or is waders going to be it?
So waders is the focus. That's what we wanted to come out to the market with. We wanted to concentrate and focus on one thing and try to do it as the best that we knew how to do. And so this year, that is what we're doing. We've built some other jackets. We've built a few of the things that we're going to sample out to some people and let them wear and give us feedback and tell us what to do different on it and try to grow the product line as we go forward. But our main and first focus will always be waders.
I was noticing that smooth looking vest behind you. That's why I was wondering if that's what that was about.
It's probably his.
Oh, yeah, I did have a pretty cool vest.
That's a sharp looking deal. That's what I was wondering. I thought, I bet that's going to be their next year's deal right there.
Yeah. Always working on something.
Oops. We got you to move the laptop and you showed your hand a little bit.
I opened up a tree. Oh man.
I can tell you right now, you know, you're going to want more solid colors in whatever you do next. It's like go and take that to the bank.
I won't make that mistake again.
So how did you find out that you missed the mark on having solid colors? Did you like sample people or how'd you figure it out?
No, we did. We sampled people and we're like, you know, here's some waders in solid color, and we set them out. And everybody liked them, but it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't this overwhelming thing. But what we did the past week or so, I forget what it was, we made a post and we put a picture out of the green waders, and it just blew up. It blew up with comments. It blew up with direct messages. It blew up with likes. And it didn't take but just a couple minutes to go, missed the mark on that one.
So I've been leading up to this episode, I've been doing a little bit of research. What is the deal with the back of the boot? It's got this black tab on it, it looks like.
Yeah.
That's something special, but what is it?
I don't even know if you can see it if I hold it up.
We can see it.
But so like it all comes from the top of the boot. So the top of the actual boot itself is where you have neoprene, and that neoprene gives you a lot of comfort in the ankle and up the leg, and it makes the whole boot itself lighter. But you also create a problem by having neoprene up there because underwater objects, sticks, and different things can easily pierce through that neoprene. Mm-hmm. So you wanted to build a cover out of the nylon material that would protect the top of the boot from any kind of underwater structures. Well, this also can allow some water to go up because you have this. You want to tighten your ankle around the ankle of the boot to keep stobs and different sticks from going up there, and to keep this material from catching on a root wad and tripping and falling. So we tighten it up, and if any water goes up into this area, we put a drain in the back of it so that it comes out.
That makes sense.
Other people have done a boot cover before, and it's like a whole leg of material, and it will just fill up with water.
Right.
And when you got into a boat or whatever, it all dumps out. So we made it in a way that it's only protecting the top of the boot, but then it also has that mesh in the back of it to make sure it drains completely to prevent that.
Right.
And you're not carrying any excess weight of water when you're walking and moving around. So that's what that is.
See, that would have taken me way more than a year to figure that out. I would not have been able to say, hey, I'm gonna redo waders and then put that on there. I'd still be searching for that answer.
Well, all you're doing, I mean, in any product that you make, when you're a product person, you're trying to identify problems, and then you're trying to solve it. So and when you have one product and that's all you're doing and all you're concentrating on, it's easy to try to fix the problems that you find.
So are you to the point now where you're tired of looking at a pair of waders, or are you nervous about launching? What emotional state are you in right now?
Oh man, I honestly, I'll never get tired of waders. I really do like waders. I think it's one of the coolest things that we have. And I've already started playing with new ideas and new designs. That's just kind of where it works. Where I'm at with the state of the launch, I am nervous. I mean, it was always a lifelong dream to be involved in a business I had ownership in, and that American dream. I want to have a business that is successful and I can take care of my family and live the life that you want to. So we're a week away from launch, and yeah, I'll be honest, I'm nervous. I want the market to embrace them and love them and really like them. And I just want to, I think if the market gives us a chance, if consumers get this wader and give it a chance, buy it, get it in, they're going to be pleased with it. And if they have a problem, they're going to have a company that will take care of it.
Right. I still think it's fascinating that you can basically customize the top, because, with other waders, you get either regular or stout, and that's it. That's really your only two options. So if you're a tin boot, but you're a
fat ass up top,
lard ass up top, now you're going to have waders that actually kind of fit you better.
The muffin top wader.
Yeah,
that's right. And it's easy to do. It's not easy to do. I shouldn't say that. If you focus on doing it, because you're not selling through a bunch of retail outlets that are only buying certain sizes. I guess if you try to concentrate on fitting the small, like the 80-20 rule of life, everybody says there's the 80-20. If you concentrate on the 80, you'll be all right. Well, we kind of said if you concentrate on the 20, the 80 will be all right. So the guys that need the extra help in getting fit and wearing a better product, let's take care of them instead of just saying, well, we're going to make 10 regulars, and if you wear a 10, this body will somehow fit you.
Right.
I'm a medium. I've swam in waders my entire life. They're so big. So this is a better way and a better fit to my body size, and you just kind of scale that all the way through for everybody.
And I mean, it treats the customer like they're an individual, and they are. When you buy this generic stock wader, you're basically saying to your customer, you're all the same, you'll figure it out, like you can squeeze into that, or you can deal with a little bit, you can put on an extra jacket to deal with that bagginess. So what you're saying to your customer this way is like, we get it, you're an individual, we're going to build you a pair of waders that fits you as that individual.
Right. And you try to hit the main sizes. We have that medium through 3X. That's going to fit the bulk of people out there.
Right.
But an extra large, a guy that wears an extra large 10 is going to, that waiter is going to fit him 1,000 times better than just buying an off the shelf regular 10 that's got to fit a guy anywhere from 5'8" to 6'5".
Right.
This one's, if you're an extra large, you're an extra large. If
Yep.
you're a medium, you're a medium.
Yeah.
So
what are some other features on the waders? I've seen a lot about the straps and the belt. Like, what are some of the other features that set this product apart?
well, a couple other things. We kind of talked about the material and the seams. The belt is really cool. I don't know if you can see or not, but
Yep.
the belt's not a traditional wader belt either. That was made out of a slick polyester material. So if you've worn waders before and it had that traditional belt on there, you would adjust that tri-glide and get it fitting just right. And then you'd start kind of moving around through the day, and that belt would slip and it'd get looser and looser throughout the day. And you're always kind of fighting with that adjustment. This belt, made the way it is, it's a ribbed elastic material. So once you set it, the rib of the belt will prevent it from slipping.
Mm-hmm.
So once it's set, it's set. But the elastic, it's a heavy duty elastic. The elastic will allow the belt to have some give. So when it needs to give so that you can move, it will, but then it tightens right back up.
Right.
So it's not constantly getting loose, falling down your body and moving around. It's built to hold really well, but it also has some give to it, so it gives you some function.
Yeah. And then what about the straps up top?
So the straps up top, so it has a nylon webbing strap, a webbing system that's built into it that holds the wader tight to your body, and which is really good, but it's really bad too because that heavy webbing would kind of cut into it. So we built a neoprene yoke system to give padding to the shoulder strap. So this is one of those things where we've said, how can we build a better strap system that holds and is more durable and doesn't get stretched out like elastic does in the shoulder strap? We'll lock in and hold. And it was like, well, we'll build it out of this heavy duty nylon webbing. But then it was kind of uncomfortable. So like, all right, let's build a neoprene yoke underneath that to give it the comfort level back. So that's where it came from. That's how the shoulder strap system works.
So next Wednesday, right? 14th?
Next Wednesday, the 14th.
Is the launch. You can, so how's that going to work? You're pre-ordering it now, right? And then they ship.
Well, yeah.
Explain it.
There's not much ordering now. It's kind of just putting information and stuff out there now. On the 14th, we're going to launch at 10 o'clock. You'll be able to go on. A person will be able to go on to the website. They'll see, we've got some hoodies, some caps. So you'll see some of those items too. You'll be able to see the wader, read everything about it, watch some videos, some testimonials, everything about the wader, see the sizes, and you can place your order then. If you place your order, you'll get a confirmation email. We'll have it, and we'll begin processing and shipping waders out.
How long till it takes for the average waiter to get to someone's door, you think, if they order it the 14th? We're going to kind of go through and process all the orders. Our expected shipping date, we're going to start shipping the 1st of August.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a little time to process all the orders through. I mean, it really just kind of depends on where they are. From when it ships, even UPS ground, when it ships, it's 4 or 5 days to California. So, you think worst case scenario, it's inside 4 or 5 days. We're going to ship everything ground for free. So free shipping on waders. Really, it's free shipping on anything. You come on there and buy a hoodie or a cap, we'll ship it to you for free. Now, if you want it next day air, second day air, right, that's going to be up to you, but we'll ground ship it to you.
So August 15th would be a good target date if you order your deals on July 15th, and you'll ship by 1st of August. So August 15th, you should see your stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So anybody that's going to go to Canada, if Canada is open, they can have their waders before they go to Canada then.
Y'all know anything yet? Anybody
No.
Anybody got any hard proof? on
No.
Canada?
Somebody, well,
I
it was
just
supposed to be
read-
July 5th, wasn't it? Now,
July 21st is going to be their next.
yeah, but July 5th, there
announcement.
were going to be some announcement, I thought.
Yeah, I just read a deal a minute ago about it, and it said July 21st they're going to have another kind of deal. It's looking like if you're fully vaccinated, you're going to have to go up there and sit for 14 days, is what I saw a minute ago. But who knows? I've seen 3 days. I've seen 14 days.
Who the hell can do that?
Crazy.
Yeah,
Nobody, I don't know anybody that can. I'm sure someone can, but I don't know that person.
Even the
I
3
mean,
days.
you're talking about if you wanted to go on a week's trip to Canada, now you're talking a 3-week trip.
Yeah, even the 3-day deal, and they want to charge you $2,000 to sit at a Canadian safe house for 3 days. That's going to take a lot of guys out of the picture. I mean, first of all, a lot of guys don't have 3 extra days. And another time, a lot of the guys that are doing it yourself are paying $3,000 for a hunt. They can't afford an extra $2,000 just to sit around for 3 days. It's going to hurt them regardless. I think they're going to play politics. I think the Canadian government wants that pipeline open again, and until we open up the pipeline, I don't think they're going to open up, which is just hurting the Canadian businesses. So I don't understand that. But they're Canada and they're liberals, so who knows? That's basically it. I feel sorry for the good people that are up there because the people are just like we are. The people in the middle of the country are not liberals or conservatives, and they've been outbred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your product had to be pretty. If you tested it all last year, your product had to be pretty close. I mean, you didn't have to just scrap the whole thing and start anew. So that kind of had to be reassuring last year whenever you were torture testing these waders and you didn't. I don't know what tweaks you made, but you've got waders here today, so I'm assuming everybody was for the most part happy with what they had last year.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was just minor things. We, depending on what version it was, one thing we're going to do in the office is I think would be really nice is I'm going to build a whole section from the very first sample prototype made all the way through finish. It was funny. I was talking to my wife at home last night. They're all in my little shop at home, and it is just full of waders. It looks like a wader factory. It's just waders everywhere in there. But yeah, so honestly, the initial idea, the initial concept was probably 85% exactly what we had. And then it was just little tweaks as we went along. We kind of built some different stuff, changed fabrics a couple times and changed the print a couple times and added the boot cover. We worked on that shoulder strap a lot, getting it to exactly how it'd be comfortable for everybody. So, I mean, it was just continuous improvements. And that's kind of fun too when you work at a place that everybody's pushes for, let's make it a little bit better. What if we do this? And it's like at some point in time, you're like, man, we were fighting over little bitty nitpicky stuff, but it made a better product in the end.
Right. I'm rooting for you. I think you got a good deal here. And I'm glad that you came on the podcast and you kind of outlined everything. So it's going to be nylon and not polyester, and that's going to make it all the more durable.
It will. I mean, like I said, nylon was around a long time ago, but what was making it waterproof was like the old rubber stuff. Mm-hmm. So there was no breathability, and it's just, as everything, as technology moves forward, the combination of different materials and different backers and different waterproof, all that stuff moves forward. It just continuously making a better product. So.
Well, we're excited. We've kept you an hour now, so I know that you got a lot going on. You're a week away from launch. We wish you the best in this, and we hope that it's a huge success. And hopefully this contributed a little bit to generate a couple sales for you. And good luck, and we look forward to seeing where this ride takes you.
Man, I appreciate it. I thank y'all a lot for having me. If I can ever do anything for you or come back on and talk about anything, let me know.
When you get those sweet vest jackets behind you on, you let us know.
I'll do that for sure.
Jeff's all about the vest jacket. He's going to try to He can try to swindle some product for you. Well, Jeff, we appreciate you. Good luck in the launch, and you're going to kill it, my friend.
Thank y'all very much.
Hey, God bless you,
Good
bud.
luck,
You have a
buddy.
good day.
Bye.
You too.
I beat that.
You did this time. It's Jeff Jones.
Chêne Gear
Chêne
waders.
And Chêne is spelled Chene.
Any. Yes, sir.
Chêne Gear. Look them up. They got a Facebook page.
That's
like
what I was
them.
going to fucking ask him. How the hell did he come up with that name?
It's Kunas for Chêne.
I feel like you're bullshitting me.
Well, I am, but that's the way I would guess.
And why would he? He's from Memphis.
I don't have a clue, but have you ever drove in New Orleans and someone gives you directions and then you look at a street sign and you thought, that's not what he said it was? So
Lots of X's.
lots of different spelling. Anyways,
EAUX and
Anyways,
all sorts of. Plus, he's in Memphis. He's not a coon ass.
yep, I wish them the best.
Memphis ain't coon ass.
No, but
You're just talking shit.
it's the waiter capital of the world, though.
It probably is that.
I'm assuming that there's more waders sold to guys that are hunting in Arkansas and the Memphis area than there is anywhere in the United States.
I don't know.
You name a place that has more waterfowl hunters that are in waders.
California.
No, not even close.
California has the most waterfowl hunters.
Not close wearing waders. Everybody hunting in Arkansas is wearing waders.
No.
Bullshit.
No.
You're either laying in the mud.
Where are they hunting at in California? You're
They
in the
probably
marshes.
field hunt and stuff. I don't think there's more hunters in California than there's.
I'm
going to
say California. Yes, there
You're
are.
wrong as usual.
There's more waterfowl hunters in California. California is the #1 waterfowl state.
I think you're full of shit.
Numero uno. God almighty. Here we fucking go again. Okay.
Well, it's 35 times bigger than Arkansas. but
Okay, so
there's
that
more people
alone.
hunting.
Are you saying per capita?
I'm saying there's more hunters in Arkansas wearing waders than there are in California.
No.
Yes.
Wrong.
Wearing
Just off
waders.
of the numbers from California
it
hunters.
up.
I was about to, and then you interrupted me.
People from Arkansas are coming from all states, though. It's not just Arkansas hunters. Everybody goes to Arkansas and waterfowl hunts
Do you
except
want?
me and you.
Okay, so how do you want me to look this up? Do you want me to look up hunting license sold in
Yes,
California? Because
compared
that's
to
going to
our-
be the deciding
go
factor.
ahead.
Okay, fuck it. Let's look it up then.
I'm telling you, there's more people wear waders in Arkansas
No.
than any state.
No.
Yes.
It's going to be California just off the numbers.
No. Wearing waders. Not everybody wears waders to waterfowl
It
hunt.
doesn't matter if there's 10 times as many hunters in California or whatever we're about to find out, the percentages still carry over. They still do. How many hunting licenses are sold in
It's like
California?
doing a podcast with your mom sometimes, and this is one of those moments.
That's ugly. of you.
Everybody in Arkansas wears fucking waders.
Not
to hunt.
everybody. I've seen plenty of people not wearing waders. We're having a hard time finding this.
We always do.
Well, if they would make this shit easier to just fucking look at, license statistics. Let's look this up. But this is a good. I mean, $1,000 is a lot at first, but I mean,
if you're going to wear them for 3
you're
years,
gonna
you get
wear
your
'em-
money worth. I looked up when we were online, and the average set of waders is about $200 to $229 at
Okay.
Cabela's or Bass Pro Shops,
right?
which is the same fucking place.
Well, they'll
So-
last you. If you win on that scenario, you get them 2 years. If everything goes right.
If you wear them waders every freaking day or 3 times a week, they're not going to last 2 years. Just don't happen
Oh,
at $229 waders.
Right.
So every 4 years. So if these waders last you 5 years,
You're still
you're ahead $229 basically.
Resident hunting.
No, I wouldn't talk just
Well,
resident.
that's what I'm finding right now.
Okay, well, resident ain't going to be it because there's so many people go everywhere else. But-
Quarter mil
but-
resident.
But Arkansas people are sitting in the trees and the timber in waders all the time. I'm not just talking about wearing waders to wade to your blind and getting your blind. I mean, they stand in waders all day long.
$250,000 hunting license sold in 2020 in California. Now let's look it up in Arkansas. See if we have any luck.
Oh, Arkansas is going to be more than that.
Then $250,000?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
That was resident. And
I
then
bet you
they
lunch.
only sold it. It only showed to be like $4,000. Whoo.
Go ahead. What is the number?
Whoo.
Go ahead. What is it?
No, that can't be it.
What is it?
That's not right at all.
What's it saying?
535 trillion.
535,000.
Well, there's a bunch of fucking commas in there. How would you decipher that?
It's 535,933. Their numbers are off one. This 301 is residents. 535 is what it is. If you skin over, they just screwed up. It's 535,933. So 2 times more than California. So go ahead and say it. I told you, Andy.
I don't think that's right.
It is right. Arkansas is the #1 duck hunting state in the world, in the United States, which is the world basically when it comes to waterfowl stuff.
Hold on, we're going to second opinion.
Okay, and everybody wears freaking waders. It's there. It's a muddy mess in water all the time.
Muddy mess all the time.
Let's just say, and let's say 80% of the people in California wear waders. That's only 200,000.
Real tree. Here we go. Actually, we're both wrong. So
What are we wrong about?
this says Texas. No, that's fishing. Here we go, hunting license. Texas again. We're both way fucking wrong. That number was not even close to being right.
What is it?
Texas at 1.1 million.
Okay.
Try to guess the second.
Minnesota?
Nope.
California, let me guess. I won't. I couldn't tell you. It'd be a big population state.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I know they got more hunters. I did know that because they got a lot of deer hunters.
984,000. Next is Michigan, Tennessee, Wisconsin, Georgia, North Carolina, New York,
those
Minnesota,
aren't waterfowl.
Alabama.
If you'd have went by what state has the most federal waterfowl stamps sold. Anyways, Arkansas, more people are wearing freaking waders in Arkansas than any state. And anybody out there that has numbers, send it to us. Y'all are going to send it to us anyways. It's going to be Arkansas, and then probably going to be Louisiana second.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now.
If I'm guessing, on the waders.
Looking it up right now.
And if you could get Johnny Morris and them to tell you where they send more waders to, or any other wader company, they're going to tell you that they send more waders to guys that use them in Arkansas and Louisiana than any other state. And Matt Judy's ass probably wears waders every day because he hunts in the damn water every day also.
Oof. If he doesn't, he should. That would be, you'd have to have it. Let's see. History of the duck hunting, duck stamp program. Do people still collect the duck stamp like they used to a long time ago, or has that gone away?
I don't know. I had a guy offer to give me every stamp that he had on a print, which is, 70, 80 prints now maybe? When did the first duck stamp come out, 1939 or 36 or something?
I don't know.
Where the hell would you put them at?
Right.
I mean, I don't have a room that I could put 40 prints in. And they're just this big. I don't know how big they are, but they're not real big.
I don't know.
But
I can't find anything that says top federal duck stamp states.
I only know one person that has every stamp. I know there's a lot of people that do. But I would love to have
1934 was
1934.
The first. It has raised $800 million that have been used to conserve 5.3 million acres of wetland.
Is that the one with King Buck on it?
What?
King Buck is the black lab. Was that the 34 or the 36?
Oh, shit. Don't get me lying.
There's one with
I just saw here that it was 1934.
There's one with a black lab, and I think maybe Reese Maynard painted it. I can't remember for sure, but the dog's name was King Buck, and he was a national field champion in the 30s or 40s. And I may be off by a decade, but anyways, it's the only one that's ever had a black lab on the stamp.
No, the first one is pair of mallards, it looks like. $1.
Which one has got the lab? Does it show all of them?
No.
Just put King Buck duck stamp.
King Buck?
Yeah, King Buck duck stamp.
Wish we had this on the
YouTube.
Yeah, right here. That's King Buck.
Yep. What year is that?
Doesn't say. 1959.
I was way off then. Reese Maynard paint it?
God damn, Jeff. You're asking me a bunch of fucking questions here. There's an old lab, not even like a young pup.
No, he was an old retired field champion, I think.
What's that say? King Buck.
Yeah.
Who painted it? Amazing story. Let's look it up. Arkansas Online, #1 duck state in the world, according to Jeff. Where did I get California?
I don't know where you get half the shit you get from.
This says Reese. Maynard.
Yeah,
Maynard Reese.
I was right. Maynard Reese.
The year was 1959. Iowa waterfowl artist Maynard Reese learned officials with the Federal Duck Stamp Competition. We're encouraging artists to enter retrieving dog designs, emphasizing the canine's role in retrieving wounded or dead ducks.
Interesting.
8 years has passed. Whatever.
Anyways, that dog was a field champion, too.
King Buck, a Labrador Retriever, was born in Iowa on April 3rd, 1948. His 7 litter mates were sold that fall. Buck went to Robert Howard of Omaha for $50. Unfortunately, Buck caught distemper. For a month, he was near death. Mrs. Howard did it all, pulled him through.
He won the national championship, though. I think he was a national field champion.
Buck's talent soon caught the eye of John Allen, developer of Winchester Super X Shot Shell and founder of Nilo Kennels. I don't know. I'm just skimming here, so like I don't.
I think he was a field champion. I'm not for sure, but I'm pretty sure he was.
At the beginning of the trials, in November 1952, Buck competed at the Nationals at Weldon Springs, Missouri. As always, he bore down when it counted. Buck responded sharply to the commands and made perfect retrieves right to the final test. When he completed a 225-yard water retrieve, he performed like a champion. At the trial's beginning, Buck was just another dog in the pack. 3 days later, he was officially the best retriever in the nation.
Yep, that's what I thought.
So, not bad for $50.
Well, in 1948, $50 was a lot of money. That was a week's wages.
Oh yeah.
So that was damn good money back then. That was like $1,000 dog now, which is not a lot, but it's not a cheap dog by any means. People weren't spending $50 for labs in 1948. The average person wasn't.
Now you can't sell a lab for $50.
Well, you
couldn't fucking give it away for $50.
A lab?
They'd be like, "What's wrong with this bitch?
Oh,
is he gonna drop over on me?"
You can't find people to work either.
Nope.
That's getting impossible. All right. God bless everyone. Thank you for listening to us. Have a good week.
Check out all of our wonderful sponsors. We've got something for everybody. Check out Eyesight Drone Service. We got the people for it coming on next, don't we, Jeff?
They'll be on tomorrow. Yes.
Gundog Outdoors, Pacific Custom Calls, Dive Bomb Industries, Boss Shot Shells, Dirty Duck Coffee, Lucky Duck, Looking Glass Duck Club, Stanfield Hunting Outfitters, Bangtail Whiskey. Speaking of good dogs, check out Goose Creek Retrievers.